Said you can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song.
Welcome to Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged with your host, Brain Fitzpatrick. Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged is a snapshot of the day-to-day experiences of disabled individuals as they navigate the world around us. We wish to shed light and open your eyes on a new perspective of people with disabilities. And by going unplugged, we can discuss viewpoints we hope will challenge our viewers' points of view. Most of us have disabilities we must live with, but what defines us is the way we deal with them. And now, here's your host, Brain Fitzpatrick.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick, bringing you an episode of Wheeling the Pathways of Life. Thank you all for sticking with me through last week and the technical difficulty we had, but you know how live shows are. And towards the end of the show, I have a special surprise for everyone. I was able to record a show that's going to be aired on the 23rd of Thanksgiving that is going to be in place of my show. It's brought to you in cooperation with New Life Community Fellowship. And I decided to bring that to you. And occasionally we may use some of the songs out of last night during the course of the show. Going forward for a couple weeks, we may use some of the songs from that event. And today I wanted to spend a little while, if not the entire show, talking about different things about one subject that is really becoming apparent, and sometimes it's frustrating, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's ridiculous, and that is the question is, are disabled people actually disabled at all? Is the question. Or are regular able-bodied people more disabled than the able-bodied people? And today we're going to answer that question in this segment, and maybe in the next one, depending on how far I want to go with it. That's the beauty of doing this style show, because I can basically go as far as I want to go with a subject as long as I'm staying respectful and not, not making a big deal out of things. But let me rephrase that. Not making a big deal out of things in a wrong way, not trying to make a big deal out of things in an inappropriate way is what I'm trying to say. And when I said able-bodied people are more disabled than disabled people, I'm talking about in the way they think and in the way they see things. A lack of experience, in the sense of a lack of experience, or a ignorant way of thinking. Not necessarily stupid, but not necessarily the smartest way of thinking they could be thinking. Now, and I get into this debate all the time with my staff, and they say, a lot of my staff say, are you calling me stupid or the R word, which is retarded? But I'm just trying, no, I say no. I'm just trying to get you to see it from a different perspective. Now, there was a question today about what I wanted to wear for a jacket, what I wanted to wear for a sweater, or something like that today, but I had to bring up the fact that it is much easier for me to wear something warm, but not too much, because I can't very easily take it off without somebody being able to do that. So a lot of what I do, you have to look at what people like me are going to do, and whether or not where I'm going and what I'm doing is going to be conducive for the way I'm dressed, or what I bring with me, what I don't bring with me, and stuff like that. So it's a lot of, and I say common sense things, but like I told the BCA today, I said, stop and think. And she's like, are you insulting me? And the answer was no. I just wanted her to stop and think about where I was going and what kind of environment I would be in, and how difficult it would be to take off jackets and stuff like that. So that's what I want to talk to you about. So when I say when anybody says think about what you do, think about what you're doing in a case like mine. think about what you're doing is actually just getting you to stop and think what kind of things I'll be running into, or what kind of environments I may or may not be going into. And the other thing is, that because the person that I'm talking to and the person taking care of me is able-bodied, they don't think about things like I do. They don't, they could take it as an insult, or they could have it as they could take it as an insult. They could take it as they could take it differently than what I intended to take it. Than what I intended for them to take it. What I intended for them, the way I intended for them to take it, they could take it the wrong way. And that's why I always say, if you stop and wait a second until I complete what I'm saying before you go and make a judgment call and say he's telling us that we're retarded or we're stupid and we can't do anything right or something. That may not be the case, but it's just, it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating for everybody, but when a disabled person hears they're stupid and they can't do anything, that's even more insulting than me saying, stop and wait, stop and think about what you're doing, think about where I'm gonna be, think about what I'm gonna be doing while I'm out doing something. Think about what I'll be doing, because either way I could be dressed inappropriately, or I could be dressed not right for the weather. So if you stop and think about how you're dressing me, and what kind of environment I'll be in during the course of the time I'll be out, then you can pretty much decide whether or not I should be wearing what I'm wearing or not. Like I said, I'm just explaining. Nobody did anything wrong, but I'm just explaining what the difference is. And I hear this all the time. If it's in the middle of summer and I happen to have a sweater on plus a short sleeve shirt, it's because I'm cold, and it's because I can somebody can take a sweater off easier than they can a long sleeve. A long sleeve for me is a little harder to take on and off. So it's better for me to be under. In my case, it's better to be underdressed than overdressed. Because if I'm overdressed, it's harder for me to take it off. Because with the people that I'm going to be with, or the people that I'm going to be doing things with, may not be able to take clothes off and stuff like that. So, main reason why I'm bringing that up is the people that say, and I've had people say this before, is why did they dress you like that? Isn't that inappropriate for you being dressed that way for the weather? Well, you gotta think too, I'm 47 years old. I'm not like a kid that can't decide what he wants to wear and how he wants to appear in life. But it's not like I can change my clothes without help. So I'd rather go comfortably than be too warm or too hot and not be able to take something off. So for those people that think somebody in a wheelchair like me is not inappropriate clothes or something, talk to the individual first before you make a complaint to the agencies or the people that I'm working with that I'm dressed inappropriately or whatever, because there's always an explanation why that I may be dressed a certain way or something like that. And when I am dressed a certain way, that's my decision, not the staff's decision. I try not to let them do things that are easier for them to do just because they don't want to be bothered putting stuff on. Because that would be wrong. But if it's something I decide to do, that issue's on me, not on them, because they're just doing what they're told, and they may advise me that it's the wrong decision, or they feel it's wrong, but at the end of the day, it's my decision, and that's the way it's gonna be. Now, I'm not saying I've been dressed inappropriately or whatever, but I'm just pointing out the fact that a lot of this stuff I can't do myself. So you gotta make sacrifices in life and let things take the whole, my life, you gotta take the whole picture into consideration. Because if you don't take the whole picture, you take what appears to be something serious may not be serious if you take a look at the whole picture and figure out why somebody's doing something. you know. It may be the winter. It may be late winter. And somebody like me may have a big pair of socks on and a pair of slippers. Why? Because it's easier to put on somebody's feet. Sometimes it's easier to put a pair of socks, put two pairs of socks on and a pair of slippers rather than put on a pair of boots or something like that. So don't just automatically assume that it's abusive or somebody's trying to get out of something. Think about what people are doing and think about how you would want to be if you weren't there in my position. Now, real quick, like, before I get too far, I'm gonna take this opportunity to take our first PSA break, and then we'll talk a little more, and then we'll go to our second PSA break closer to the end of the show. We'll be right back, folks.
When all I see is the battle, you see my victory. When all I see is a mountain, you see a mountain move. And as I walk through the shadow, your love surrounds me. There's nothing to fear now, for I am safe with you. So when I fight, I'll fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you, and every fear I lay at your feet, and I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And if you are for me, who can be against me? Yeah. For Jesus, there's nothing impossible for you. When all I see are the ashes, you see the beauty. Thank you, God. Oh, when all I see is a cross, God, you see the empty tomb. So when I fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And every fear I lay at your feet, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. An almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows, you win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. Almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows, you win every battle. Oh, nothing can stand against the power battle belongs to you. And every fear I lay at your feet. I sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. Oh God, the battle belongs to you.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick bringing you an episode of Wheeling the Pathways of Life. Thank you, Nick, for allowing me to use some of your songs for PSA breaks, public service announcements. And one thing I do want to mention, I should do this at the end of every PSA coming from New Life. We have services scheduled for 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Sunday mornings at 172 Hubbard Avenue in Pittsfield. Well, again, that's 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. every Sunday. Between every Sunday. And we have Bible study on Tuesday nights. And like last night, we had a special concert, special praise night that will be shown on Thanksgiving during the time that I'm scheduled to be on. So, on behalf of New Life, and on behalf of New Life, and on behalf of Wheeling the Pathway of Life, please enjoy the worship service on the 23rd. One thing that I want to do before I really get started again on the subject is just give you a quick update on where Pastor Jeff is, if anybody remembers Pastor Jeff that came on and did quite a few shows with me. He is down at a church called Five Forks Baptist Church down in South Carolina, down in Simpsonville, South Carolina, and I will be giving you guys regular updates. And I'm thinking about maybe once in a while, instead of putting New Life on 1 week, I may take the service off the website, off of Five Forks, and put that one on instead. And so you can get a different perspective from two different valuable pastors in the same denominational situation, but two different perspectives, and so you can see it from two different ways. I know that most people won't go down to South Carolina, but I like the way Pastor Jeff teaches, and I think it's a very understandable way of teaching. Not that I'm saying Pastor Aaron is bad, but I'm saying both ways of teaching are valuable, and to give you two different perspectives is not a bad idea. So I may do that in place of New Life at some point, but we will see. Anyway, one of the things that I like to say is, along with the same subject that I was talking about before, about asking me what I want to wear and what I want to do, that's kind of why I do get so upset about, making decisions for myself, because I could be thinking one thing and you're thinking something totally different, excuse me. You're thinking something totally different. It's one of the things that I'm thinking about. Was thinking about during the commercial break, during the public service announcements, not commercials. Public service announcement is a lot of people think, oh, he's going out in the cold, he's gonna freeze, he's gonna be out in the elements and stuff like that. Usually when I go out, it's right to the van and right into a heated van, right into a comfortable dry van. And then I go where I need to go, and then right into a building. I don't stay outside unless it's nice and warm and not raining or snowing. So don't think that I'm being neglected because I do what I do. It's just what's easier for me and what's more practical for me. So one of the things that I like to talk about is, yes, I have to be brutally honest with you. Sometimes I'm not as respectful as I could be with the people that take care of me. Okay? And that goes for anybody that's in my position. It is a very frustrating, very frustrating and very, it's like, God, I wish I could do that myself. So that is why some of the things that would take me 5 minutes to do, if I could do them, take 20 minutes for somebody else. Because I have to stop and explain what I mean and make sure they understand what I mean. And, and some of the discussions we have are not, some of the discussions we have and some of the questions they come up with are so surprising to me, but they are so real to other people. And let me tell you one of the questions I had. One time, not yet, Kelsey, but I may have you go wide for me, but stand by for a minute. Just want to let you know I may have you go with a wide shot of my chair, but I'll stand by. One of the questions I had recently is, how do you do CPR if you're in a chair? Okay? If something happens to me. Now, you wouldn't think somebody would ask that question. It's like you go through CPR training and you don't know how to do CPR in a chair. Well, one of the things this chair can do is this chair can tip back to 50 degrees. I can lay the chair back all the way to the floor if I wanted to. Basically all the way to the floor. Now the question is, and the real question was, how do you stop a chair from tipping over when they're doing CPR on you because the chair tipped back so far? Well, there's a simple solution to that. And the reason why I stopped, the reason why I'm slowing down and talking about it, is I want you to think about it for a second. What does somebody do when they don't want something to move? And that is put the chair up against the wall, or a couch, or even a bed with the wheels locked so it doesn't move. And just lay the chair down with the recliner over the bed so the chair doesn't move while you're performing CPR. Okay? Now, the reason why I bring that up is you do not want to try and staff in my case are not equipped, not that they can't, but I don't want them taking the time and try to transfer me in an emergency situation to get me to the floor or something. And plus, it gives me a medical reason to get a recliner. Doing it this way. Now, there's other reasons why I need a recliner on my chair. Now you can go wide, Kelsey. Just go zoom out for me, Kelsey. Imagine sitting in this position for 6-7 hours a day. All right. That would be impossible. Not only would you be able to move because you're so uncomfortable, the body would actually stay in this position once you tried to get out of the chair if you weren't able to adjust the chair accordingly. Okay, Kelsey, you can go back in now. So I wanted to give you that bit of information so these are all situations that are primarily unique to me, but these are considerations when you are getting equipment. You are looking at somebody's decision to do CPR, or their wishes and their wants, should anything happen to them. And all that goes into what type of equipment you need, or what type of equipment you don't need, or something like that. Now, again, in my case, this is not to badmouth anything, but I do want people to realize something else. There's one thing I don't have in my house that most people would in an emergency situation, should there be a problem too. And that is an automatic defibrillator. Okay? If something was to happen to me, I need to know that somebody will use it when they know what they're, if they know what they're doing. Okay? It doesn't matter to me that somebody's been trained, but in an emergency situation, anything could happen, and a button could be pressed at the wrong time, and stuff like that. So I'd rather leave the automatic defibrillator situation to the professionals that know when to use it and when not to use it. Now, not only is that an expensive piece of equipment, that is a piece of equipment that will probably never be used for a long time, and you wind up spending more time maintaining it than you do actually using it. And there's other techniques that can be used while you're waiting for a device like that. So, and plus, that's why I only live less than 2 minutes from an ambulance company and probably 3 minutes from a fire station and probably 4 minutes from a police station and 7 minutes away from the hospital. Because I'm right in the middle where there's a sweet spot from all directions on whether or not there's a problem. So if people say to me that I don't know what I'm doing, I don't have all the contingency plans laid out in my head, I don't know the risks, I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't know situations, I will be the first one to say, I think you're wrong as far as that goes. I think you are just, you may be good intended, but you gotta look at all that I just said, from the ability to get me out of the chair, the ability to get me dressed, the ability to make a decision that you not sure of. Because if you make a decision one decision that I want to clarify before I get too lost. When you are, by the way, I am not sick or anything, I'm just explaining situations to you, why I do things the way I do them, why they are legally this way, why they're legally set up this way too, so people understand why situations are the way they are. People may know this, but one thing, you never make a decision based on what somebody says, okay? You never do it. In other words, if somebody says they got a DNR, you don't take that as you don't take the fact that somebody says they got a DNR like me, you don't take that as gospel, unless you see it. If somebody says you got a DNR, and you don't see it, and you don't have verification of it, you continue CPR until somebody else gets there, they can make that determination to see if there's an active DNR or not in the plan for them to make the decision. Most cases, they continue CPR until they get to the hospital, until the DNR can be verified or whatever. The reason why I'm bringing this stuff up to you today is these are questions that I've dealt with recently. You may think they're ridiculous. You may think they're being insensitive. But let me tell you something. I'd rather have somebody be a tad insensitive and ask me the question than be more insensitive and not do a darn thing should the time arise where it needs to be done in a CPR situation or a choking situation or something like that. One more thing and then I'll get ready to wrap up, and we'll be going to that last PSA in a minute, but there is one other aspect of it. In my case, not all cases, and this is only in my situation for right now, but the reason why I'm bringing it up is so you can check anybody else's situation and see what they want to do, but you cannot, I would not recommend in my situation to do that regular Heimlich maneuver on me. Okay? You can't, it would be real hard for somebody to get behind me and do the regular Heimlich maneuver. The way you do a Heimlich maneuver on somebody like me is you push up on the diaphragm from the front with a closed fist. At a rapid succession, like, basically it's like punching me in the stomach. But it's not punching me in the stomach, it's doing the Heimlich maneuver from the front end. But like I said, these are just my ways of doing things. For staff, make sure you talk to your clients and make sure you understand which way they want to go, and make sure you understand the policies of the agency, and you don't do what somebody else said to me unless you're verified that's what they want to do. But you don't just walk in the door. This was meant as a joke, but I don't take it that way now, and nor will I ever take it this way. You don't say to somebody, what do you want me to do? Lock the door and leave? If I find you, in trouble or not breathing, no. I want you to do everything you can, and I want you to call the proper people. Now, right now I am going to wrap up the show and say, have a great holiday, have a great Thanksgiving, and I will see you back on the 30th. Right now we are going back to one of the final PSA break for today, and we will see you back here on the 30th. We will be playing that PSA and going right out and going right to the closing. Have a great holiday. I will see you after Thanksgiving. Have a great holiday, and make sure you watch the radiothon on the 16th for a WTBR 89.7, and donate what you can, and have a great holiday, and God bless you, and I will see you on the 30th. Thank you.
How I long to breathe the air of heaven, where pain is gone and mercy fills the streets, to look upon the one who bled to save me and walk with him for all eternity. There will be a day when all will bow before him. There will be a day when death will be no more, standing face to face with he who died and rose again. Holy, holy is the Lord. Every prayer prayed in desperation, the songs of faith we sing to doubt and fear. In the end, we'll see that it was worth it when he returns to wipe away our tears. Oh, there will be a day when all will bow before him. There will be a day when death will be no more, standing face to face with he who died and rose again. Holy, holy is the Lord. And on that day, we'll join the resurrection and stand beside the heroes of the faith. And with one voice, 1,000 generations sing, worthy is the Lamb who was slain. And on that day, we'll join the resurrection and stand beside the heroes of the faith. With one voice, 1,000 generations